was feeling a bit spooky. And this book checked off all the boxes because it was indeed entertaining. Plus, it had that spooky factor in the form of vampires. And despite some gaps in the plot, despite being a little bit naive and cliche maybe, I quite enjoyed it. It's a light, quick read. Moreover, the spicy scenes were written quite well, quite deftly, so that was enjoyable. I'm not sure if I was a fan of the main character, Layla. Not sold on her, but it was all rewarded by Vlad. So, our vampire. If you feel like reading some fantasy with quite a bit of romance in it, I think this one is a solid choice. I would recommend that. Next, I read Witchborn. By Nicholas Bowling. This book revolves around the story of a girl whose mother was burnt at the stake for witchcraft. And later on in her life, she discovers that she is also, in fact, capable of magic. And she also discovers that she is more important in the context of the whole country than she would have imagined. And this one, to me, it's kind of a wasted potential, I would say, because the concept is super cool, but it was lacking, and in my opinion, it was mostly the writing's fault. It was kind of lifeless, flat, uninteresting. The dialogues were just there. Well, I didn't even care about the characters. I didn't root for them. I wish that the same story with the same outline was written by, let's say, V.E. Schwab. That would have been brilliant. So, the historical background, yes. The magic, yeah. The idea, hell yeah. But not the execution. I don't think I'd recommend it because there must be many more books that are just more worth reading than this one. Next, here I'm a bit scared. We've got The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And if there are any hard-out fans of The Alchemist or Paulo Coelho in general, I don't know if I wouldn't advise just covering your ears for a bit. I'm so sorry. But for those of you who are not familiar with this classic at this point, I guess, it's really close to a fable for adults. At times it even resembled like a biblical parable that we used to learn in primary school. And that was not only because the main character is a nomadic shepherd, okay? But I just don't get the hype. I don't get it. is trying so hard to be deep. Analogies which are trying to convey meaningful life lessons, but end up being just some philosophical mumbo jumbo, and books that are kind of deliberately written to be quoted, if you know what I mean, as those little nice sources of inspirational quotes that we then find on Pinterest or something. I just don't like it. The repetitiveness of some lines truly annoyed me, same as the sometimes oversimplified comparisons. At times I even thought, well, this is for adults, right? We're supposed to understand things. And here you sometimes even feel like a little child who's being kindly educated by the author. To me, it would have been so much better if the same lesson was taught by using a strong plot, some good realistic characters, and some like real emotion, something closer to us, you know? So, I don't recommend it, unfortunately. Next, I read One of Us is Lying. One of Us is Lying. One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. One of Us is Lying. Sorry for my stomach. Sorry. I bought this book only because I really wanted to bring something back with me from London, and I really wanted to buy something in that used bookstore. So this one grabbed my attention thanks to its red sprayed edges, and honestly the description on the back, the blurb, it sounded kind of interesting, and it listed the characters, so Bronwyn, Cooper, Nate, Addie, and Simon, and they sounded like very bold, interesting characters, so I thought, why not? And I wasn't wrong. So this book revolves around 5 high school students who get sent into detention after lessons, and only 4 of them get out of there alive. And the rest of the book is basically us trying to discover what happened and who done it. So as you can imagine, many secrets get revealed. There's lots of drama, lots of tea. And it turns out that even the brightest students have something on their conscience. And most importantly, turns out that each of those 5 students had something to do with Simon, the boy who died. So, quite an interesting mystery. The story was actually very well done. We got to unravel the secrets layer by layer. Our opinions on the characters shifted as we learned more. We discovered that we may have been wrong about some of them. It's all very, very layered. Yeah, that's a good word. There are some major plot twists in there, and the characters are indeed quite bold and quite interesting. each of them with their own faults and motives, let's say. But we can relate with them. I rarely read thrillers from the young adult category, but I think it's a strong representative. And plus, I think it's a good idea to reach for a book like this if you maybe don't feel like reading something as dark as, let's say, Gillian Flynn is offering, or Riley Sager. Maybe you want something thrilling, yes, exciting, yes, with a secret, yes, but not as dark. I am almost sure you'd read it smoothly, quickly, and with pleasure. So that's One of Us is Lying. This one is going to be short and sweet because I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I read it. I have to be true. So, Catching Fire is an amazing dystopian sci-fi novel for young adults, but not exclusively. It's amazing. It has a faster pace than most books. I was never bored. It never dragged. And the pictures that I created in my mind, in my imagination whilst I read this book, excited to talk about this one. I think you know my indicator of an exceptional book already, and that is that I just get lost in a book like that. I forget about the concept of time, and that is exactly what happened here. It's a story of a girl who discovers that thanks to her little bicycle, she can travel across a bridge in her hometown and travel to places where more or less valuable things were once lost. And she can kind of retrieve them. But then she discovers that she has to pay for each of those trips with pain and exhaustion. But also, there's a bigger danger lurking, and that is Charlie Max, an energetic vampire feeding off of kids' souls. And this, my dear friends, is an example of an amazing idea that also got executed really, really well. So a bit contrary to Witchborn, for example. This book had the perfect, ripe, strong, but also flowing style. It had flesh and blood characters that I just grew to love. There was emotion, there was tension, there was stress and tears and everything you'd ever wish for. The world was very well thought out. There was the battle of good versus evil, just perfect. Plus, there were no loose ends, no gaps, no holes in the plot, just everything tied together perfectly. Everything was explained. I wouldn't have a bad thing to tell you. Like I said, I truly loved the characters that Joelle created. So Vic, for her flaws, for her ambivalent attitude towards motherhood, but also her bravery and persistence. Lou, for his undeniably and incredibly good heart, thoughtfulness, and selflessness. And little Bruce for how he handled everything that he had to go through. And on the other hand, the level of degeneracy of Charlie Manx's right hand, so Bing, was so well described that at times I felt sick to my stomach, which then I thought, well, that's a good thing. That was the point. Important thing I noticed was that I cared even about the side characters. So nothing felt unnecessary, nothing felt like a filler. Everything was there with a purpose, with intent. I love that. I also appreciated the long span of the story because we meet Vic when she's just a little girl in her childhood, and we follow her story as she grows up, and then she's an adult. So in that time we really get to meet her and discover, like I said, her flaws, her fears, want you to